I got into the Panini sticker card collection. Are those cards worth grading?
Any tip or tricks to negotiating for sports cards on Whatnot? Your no strip is too high. That shit ain't opening up anything.
And I pulled a reverse K-zone Jacob deGrom. Is that something I want to send in to get graded if I think I can get a 10 on it?
Welcome to the Eric Michael Show, where we talk about sports cards, business, making money, and all sorts of good stuff like that. And while I'm speaking right now, it's an amazing time because the NBA Finals just ended, which means it is the best time to start buying basketball cards, at least in my opinion. And to cut right into it, by the way, you guys could call in. I'll be putting the phone number in the chat. You can call in, have a conversation with me, ask some questions. But let me explain something to you. So sports cards does not work the way you think it works. All right, let's take Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, for example. He just won the NBA title, okay? Not only did he win the NBA title, he won the NBA title, he won the scoring title, he won the MVP of the finals, and he won the regular season MVP. This guy is just, right, on cloud nine right now. And what most people think is, like what a lot of people do, is they buy cards of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander a few weeks before he wins the finals, because it was pretty obvious, not obvious, but the Thunder were the better team. They were the favorite. And they're like, oh, let me go and sell cards of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander when he wins the finals. It's not the way it works, okay? So let me show you guys something. So I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm going to explain to you what I'm talking about. So hopefully you can see my screen here. So this is a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander Silver Prism. You could see it kind of skyrocketed, right? Like here, it kind of shot up in value. Like, what is this? This is February, so 4 months ago. And then throughout the playoffs, it's kind of stayed the same. It's actually, I guess it's went down a little bit. But why is it like this, right? You guys who are watching this are like, you know what? Shouldn't his cards be up during the playoffs? No, because of how good he played in the playoffs, and because the Thunder were the 1 seed, it was factored into the price. So let me try to explain this so I'm speaking English. So if we look here, right here is when people realized how good the Thunder are, that they're going to make the playoffs, and that he's probably going to win the MVP. This happened right here. So his cards selling for this price over here, it's already baked into his price that he's the MVP. The Thunder are a really good team. He has a high chance of winning the finals. So when he wins the finals and wins the finals MVP, and he does something everyone expects, he doesn't go up in value. You're going to see here in the next few days, I highly doubt Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's value will go up because it's already baked into his price. However, if no one expected him to do this, then his price would shoot up a lot. Like, for example, if you look at a Tyrese Haliburton Silver Prism PSA 10. By the way, my assistant will be putting the phone number in the chat if you guys want to call in, but give me a few minutes. So check this out. This is a Tyrese Haliburton Silver Prism PSA 10. You could see this card was like $180 right before the playoffs. And what happened during the playoffs? He started to play really well. The Pacers made a run. The key is nobody expected him to do that. And what happened is, boop, it doubled in value, as opposed to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did not, because it's already expected, right? It's baked into his price. Now, the thing is, nobody knew that Tyrese Haliburton was going to have the type of playoffs he did, and I hope he gets better. It was a terrible injury. What happened yesterday, I actually think they could have maybe won the game because they had 20-something turnovers without Haliburton. But if Haliburton was there, they probably would have had 14 or 15 turnovers instead. Completely different game, right? But the thing is, you just don't know who's going to go up in value and who's going to skyrocket, because something is only an opportunity when no one else sees it as an opportunity, right? So no one saw Tyrese Haliburton as an opportunity, which is why if you bought it here, it went up a lot in value. But the thing is, how the hell are you supposed to know who's going to go up in value? Playing this game is nearly impossible because just most players, this doesn't happen to, right? So little intro, I guess, to sports cards and kind of how the market works. Now, also, so he won MVP then on the same day, or actually, I think the day before, the same day, Kevin Durant was traded to the Rockets. How this affects players' values, let's see. So a Jalen Green. So Jalen Green was traded from the Rockets to the Suns. I don't think it's going to affect his value, honestly, too much. But let's see. Yeah, it's not like, there hasn't been a sale of this card since he got traded. But Jalen Green, I don't think it's going to affect his value too much. However, someone who I do think could have a nice spike in value, and I was actually talking about this guy last week or the week before, is Amen Thompson. So Amen Thompson was a rookie last year? And now that Kevin Durant's on the Rockets, like, let's be honest, the Rockets, they got the 2 seed this year, but no one actually took them seriously because they just were too young, not good enough team. And now Durant's there, they could actually make a run at the championship. I think the Rockets could easily compete with the Thunder next year. My business partner was telling me yesterday that he thinks the Thunder are going to go on a dynasty run, and there's no chance. Let's be honest. The Pacers are one of the worst teams to go into the finals. They had a great run, but they got really lucky that they played the Pacers. I think if they played a healthy Celtics team, the Thunder would have lost in 6. But someone like this, right? And this is no financial guarantees here, right? We're not making any financial guarantees. But Amen Thompson, so you can see he started to play well in the middle of the year and his stuff went up a lot. Something like him, I think, has potential to be a good purchase. Buying his cards, sitting on them, because a lot of hype is probably going to build since Durant's on the Rockets. The Rockets could be the 1 seed. I mean, they were the 2 seed without him, so they can maybe be the 1 seed. Probably not. They're probably still not as good as the Thunder. But this is how, in my opinion, you would look at making money with the Kevin Durant trade. You're not really going to buy Kevin Durant cards. Buying a Kevin Durant card is like buying a Disney stock. It might go up a little bit over time, but not a lot. So hopefully what I'm sharing here, what I'm showing you, is making sense. But let's get into some questions here. No questions yet, so well, that's good for me. So what I'm going to do here is let's start buying some sports cards while we wait for these questions to come in. Yeah, no, I'll get to it. So check this out. I want to show you guys 2 purchases I made and why I made them. So let's pull up a little Google Doc here. Let's pull this up. So I actually, so for the first time so I've been bidding on cards. I'll do it like live on these podcasts where I buy some of my cards, and I've been getting outbid because I think people are like, I just show people what I bid. I think people are just outbidding me by a few dollars, but I happen to win these 2. So check this Pokemon card. This is a 2003. Honestly, I don't know who this character is. I'm not too great with Pokemon. I'm decent at making money with their cards, but check this out. If you look this up, if you look up this card, 2003 EX Latios. So this card, I want to show you guys something. So let's see here. Okay, let's go back the past 365 days. All right. So I bought this card. This guy who I bought it from lives in the United Kingdom. I purchased it for $367 or 273 pounds. Probably take a week or 2 to get here. And that's another thing. Buying cards overseas, people get scared of it. It takes an extra few days to get here, and you can get really good deals. But if you look at this card has really good subgrades to send this card to PSA. It has really good centering, it has really good corners, and the edges and surface are the problem. And I'm looking at these edges, and I don't see an issue. Maybe a little bit of chipping up there. But if you look at this card, right, this blue line indicates what a PSA 9 sells for. And a PSA 9 sells for $435. Okay. And I bought this card for $367. So after fees and grading, if this card grades a 9, I'll probably make like $20 if I had to take a guess, right? However, if this card grades a 10, look at what the last 10 sold for. The last 10 sold for $13.50, and that was in December of 24. If you look at by this PSA 9, right? If you look here, this card is up since then, like 70%. Not saying this 1300 sale would be like double now, but I think a PSA 10 is at least $1,500 to $2,000. And you could see what I paid, right? So if this card grades a 9, which I would say there's like a 60 to 70% chance, in my opinion, this card grades a 9, I'll make a little bit. If it doesn't grade a 9 and gets a 10, I'll make a lot. But so hopefully that makes sense. And if you look at this other card I bought, so I actually bought this on the podcast. I think I bought this on the podcast last week. And this card, you could see, it looks pretty good. So these Prism cards, you want the thing is this back corner right here. This is usually messed up, but this one actually looks pretty good. And I looked at the seller's other items, and he clearly does not grade cards. I mean, he's selling icy slushies and GTA. So this card, what I actually did is, for the first time ever, I'm actually sending this card to, okay, yeah. So I sent it directly to PSA. This is the first time I've ever actually done this. So I don't know if you guys know this, but you can, when you buy a card on eBay, they now allow you to send it directly to PSA, and then they'll ship it back to you. So this specific card, the reason I bought it, let's see, what was the reason I bought it? So Red Sparkle Jaden Daniels. I don't know if there were any comps of this card. Red Sparkle Jaden, yeah. Jaden Daniels. I think I just kind of went off the heezy here. But, well, with this card, because there were no sales of it. But this card is a 10. I mean, it's probably like 22 to 2,400. And I don't think Jaden Daniels is going to go up too much in value as we get closer to the season, because he's already like pretty hyped. I mean, he had that big card sale. I think the owner of the Commanders bought his 101 black Prism auto for like $500,000. So I think he could, gain some hype. But let's see here. See if we got any questions. So is it working? All right. Well, let's see. Brian asks, are buying 2024 football Prism blasters or megas a waste of money, or there can be value in that? It is a huge waste of money, at least in my opinion. It's all you're doing is gambling. That's all you're doing. And it's a losing proposition. It's just like going to the casino. Can you get lucky? Yes. But over the long run, you're going to lose a lot of money. And in my opinion, from what I've seen, I don't have math to back this up, but you have actually much better odds going to play roulette than buying blaster packs or Prism packs. So the answer, if you're looking to make money, the answer would be no, do not buy them. It's not a winning game. Take my word for it. So a lot of people actually inside of my program. So I sell a coaching program that teaches people how to make money doing this stuff. And what a lot of people do is they first get into like breaking open packs and boxes, etc. And then they come to my program, but they come to my program after they lost like 5, 10, 20 grand. They'll see an ad of me. They'll be like, oh, I could actually make money from this. Then they'll purchase. So just to put it in perspective, it's not a winning game, Brian, but it is fun. I bought a PSA 10 certified silver Tyrese Haliburton rookie card for $25. After his season performance, I feel that was a steal. What do you think? Well, if you just bought it recently for that, it's probably not a steal, but let's see. I'll look it up for you. Haliburton silver. So you're talking about, get rid of this. You're talking about certified. I'm honestly not even sure what card you're talking about. This card? Nah, it's not really a steal. The card's just a cheaper card. Maybe you'll make $5 to $10 on it. So not much, to be transparent with you. What would be a good cash offer for a 2024 Michael Penix Jr., Michael Vick downtown Pandora? Well, I don't know. Let's look. So you're talking about Penix, Vick, downtown Pandora, right? You said Pandora. This card, wow, expensive card. So if you're talking about this card, which seems like you are, I would use. So let's go to 130 points. So if you don't know this, like these sales, this is like $3,600 or best offer, but eBay won't actually tell us what it's sold for, but 130 point will. So if you go to 130 point, you click this little button, Penix, pick downtown Pandora. So the last one sold for $3,000. Can't believe it sells for this much. I would use the auction. I would try to get her for $2,500 if I were you, to be conservative. Because if Penix starts to play not great, which I would definitely try to sell this card before the season starts. So like the most I'd pay for it is $2,500. I think it's a little bit of a hard sale if you get a 10 because right, if you 10 it, you want to sell it for at least $5,000, and I don't know who's going to pay that. Like someone will, but it's not as liquid as like a Penix rookie. Is it good now? Still waiting on some tech issues. But hopefully that answers your question, CK Texas. Any tip or tricks to negotiating for sports cards on Whatnot? So that's a good question. So I have never bought a card off Whatnot. I've barely been on Whatnot, to be transparent with you. However, from my experience, or not my experience, but from what I've been told by people, a lot of it's like auctions. A lot of them sell for too high. So from what I've been told, Whatnot's a great place to sell cards, but not the best place to buy cards because a lot of stuff gets pumped up. A lot of people on there have never bought cards before. They're spending $50 on a card that's actually worth $10. So I would probably stay away from buying on there based on what I've heard. Like there's enough to buy on eBay. But if you want some negotiating tactics on eBay, the best negotiating tactic I could ever give you is build connections. So get people off of eBay or buy cards through Facebook and Instagram, et cetera, and get people's phone numbers or card shows. Because then once you build trust with someone, they're just more likely to give you a decent deal. That's business, honestly, in general. Just build a good reputation and, write down people's phone numbers. Your nose strip is too high. That shit ain't opening up anything. It actually feels great. It's actually opened up my nose a lot because the nose strip is a little too big for my nose. So I put it up a little bit. Also, when you put it down, the stickiness, because it's like, it's harder to stick on. But thank you for the advice. That's funny. Just hit a Dylan Cruz Mojo Mega Future Stars in great condition. Do you think I should grade it? I have no idea. But let's look. I'll tell you. Let's look. So you said Dylan Cruz. Let me see. What was it called? It was a Mojo Future Stars. This card right here. Yeah, it's probably barely worth grading. A 10's probably $50, $60 if I had to guess. So if it's this card you're talking about, yeah, I'll grade it if you think it's in good condition, of course. Do you have a preference over PSA or SGC for grading cards? With PSA tightening their grading, I've been seeing a lot more 9 compared to 10s with faster turnarounds. Also, what are your thoughts on AI grading being the future? So that's a good question. Okay, so all right, there's a lot to unpack there. So PSA getting harder to grade cards with, it's actually beneficial. So if you know what you're doing, okay, let me get this question out of the way. It's a big question. Okay, the two parts of that question. Number one, let me give you an example. So Prism NFL is hard to grade. Okay, about 20%, I think, of the card's grade. It's hard to grade. It's a hard card. Get a 10. Because it's harder to grade, the margins are higher. When you grade a 10, now you're making 3, 4, 5 times your money, as opposed to if you got a 10 with an easy card to grade, you might double your money. Okay, the harder a card is to grade, the higher margins you make. Right? It's pretty simple, right? Pretty simple math. Now, if PSA is getting harder, that means a PSA 10 is going to carry more weight. So if you know what you're doing, you'll have a steeper competitive advantage over people. And also less people are going to grade cards. So you actually, if you know what you're doing, of course, that's the whole key. You actually make more money by PSA being harder to grade. Because if Prism, for example, if 20% of them get a 10, and now you're at 40%, which a lot of my students are at 50, 60%, you're making bonkers money because you're making 3, 4 times your money every single time. Now, if PSA was really easy and Prism was really easy, or, everyone would send those cards in for grading. So there's much less stuff to buy out there on the market, number one. And number two, you're making like less money. And also it's harder to have a competitive advantage because it's easier to grade cards, if that makes sense. So even though you'd rather get 40% of your cards to get a 10 and you triple your money or quadruple your money every time, then 60% of your cards get a 10, but you only double your money. Hopefully that makes sense. So by PSA tightening their rules, that's actually exciting for me because I personally think I will make more money as well as my students will. So for that reason, I think you're looking at it the wrong way. I think it's just a way of you saying if all your cards are getting a 9, sure, it's harder, but it's just you lack the information and you lack the skill and the knowledge to consistently get 10s. I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. I'm just telling you the truth. So I think it's actually much more beneficial in the long run. And now like there's just way more cards to buy to grade on eBay because people don't want to grade cards because right they're getting 9s and I wouldn't either. Hopefully that makes sense. And then the second part to your question, wait, you had a second part to your question. A lot of questions here. Sorry. What are your thoughts on AI grading? So AI grading, I don't think will ever be a thing because just picture this: if you had AI grading cards, you could create another AI that just knows if a card's going to get a 10 or a 9 before you ever send it in for grading, which defeats the whole purpose of grading. You don't think PSA's thought about this? They're $1 billion company. You don't think they'd rather just use AI, build a software, and fire all their graders because their payroll expense would go way down? But it would ruin the whole part of grading because grading sports cards would no longer you no longer have margin or you no longer have room to make money or room to profit if you knew what every single card was going to grade before you sent it in for grading, right? Think about that. What would people do if there was AI grading cards? Well, they would create an AI or they would create a software that would then just know if the card's going to get a 10 or 9 before the card even gets sent in for grading. And now it just ruins the market. So believe me, like PSA, you don't think they've thought of that? Of course they have, but it would just screw up cards. So for that reason, I don't think it'll ever happen. Theoretically, it's a good idea, but that human error when it comes to grading cards is what makes it great. Like you really don't know if you're going to get a 10 or a 9. If you're good, even me, like I'm pretty good, but still when I send in cards for grading, I'm taking an educated guess. So hopefully that makes sense. Good question though. Let's see here. Is his nose or your nose bozo? I'm not sure what that means. I have 2 Jaden Daniels Donruss Bomb Squad PSA 10s. How much would you sell them for? We have a local show this Saturday. Would you recommend selling on eBay or at the card show? So, good question. Don't know the answer. I could tell you here in 2 seconds. So, Jaden Bomb Squad PSA 10. Wow, it's kind of all over the place. Is it working? Oh, that's not good. So it looks like we may not be able to take any callers today. Oh yeah, you could take them manually. Yeah, that's true. Oh, we'll take the callers manually. The Jaden Daniels, I would definitely sell at your card show, and it's probably $60. Yeah, $60. Hey, what's up? You got Eric Michael, you're live.
Hey, Eric. Once again, I'm driving for work, so I'm sorry if the call drops out, but I'll get my question out to you and listen to the answer if that's the case. So I just joined the program last week. My name is Noel. And I was in Florida last week, went to a ball game with my ma.
Cool.
And happened to purchase a pack while I was there just for fun. And I pulled a reverse K-Zone Jacob DeGrom card that looks just fantastic. Now, this card is a die cut, so what I'm wondering is that something I want to send in to get graded if I think I can get a 10 on it?
Yeah, die cuts are good cards to grade, but it sounds like the card is not worth enough money to get graded. Do you know the value of the card?
Yeah, they're selling for about $350.
Oh wait, then I'm totally wrong. Wait, what is it? Let me look it up. It's a DeGrom what?
Okay, so it's a top Series 2 Jacob DeGrom super short print. It's the K-Zone card.
Oh, it's a short print. Okay, I missed that.
But it's the reverse K, which is a little bit rarer than the
Oh,
regular case
I
cards.
see. Hold on, let me share my screen and just show the audience. Wow, I can't believe this card. Oh, whoops, that card sells for that much.
It's gorgeous. It looks really good.
Wow. Well, that's lucky you hit that. Let me just look it up on 130 point. That sale on eBay? Do you know what that sold for?
I think I saw a couple when I was looking last night for about $345, $350.
Yep, that's what I see too. Okay, so that card is worth getting graded. And yeah, die cut cards. So die cut cards, they, from my experience, they're usually like they're not as desirable as like regular square cards, I guess. But
Right.
you could like, it's definitely worth grading. Just I would expect to like if it got a 10, I think it would sell for like 700. It wouldn't sell for like 1,500 or anything crazy like that. And I could be totally wrong. But yeah, I would definitely send it in for grading. I didn't realize it was worth that. Wow.
Yeah, considering I bought it for like, $12 pack or whatever, it was a pretty nice hit, especially not really opening up a lot of packs. So that was kind of fun.
Yep, I agree. And just as a side note, inside the program, the whole point of the program is we say don't open up packs and boxes. And I know people don't listen to me anyways, but just for the future, I was.
No, I am completely aware. I was at a game and on a whim happened to buy a pack while I was at the game. Fun. So yeah.
Well, you know what they say. It's better to be lucky than good. But I was just explaining. I don't know if this is you, but a lot of people who buy the program, the journey they go through, they get into sports cards. They start breaking open packs and boxes. They lose $5,000 to $10,000. They see my ad and they're like, "Oh wow, I could actually make money." They watch the videos. They speak to me or a salesperson, and then we tell them to stop breaking, and they're like, "Oh shit, I need to stop breaking," and then they start to make money. But they lose money first before they get into the program from breaking. It's a very common theme.
Yeah, luckily I've avoided that. So yeah, I know I'm supposed to be buying cards, and that's what I'm concentrating on. But this was just kind of a for fun while I was on vacation. But side note, I'm loving the content. It's a lot to digest, so I'm taking my time with it. But it's been great so far, and the experience with the coaches has been pretty cool too. So thanks.
Cool. Yeah, probably isn't it interesting? Like it's like, so you're in the program, so you have a little bit of a different angle. But it's like, oh, what could I learn from sports cards? And then you start watching the videos in the program, and it's like, holy crap! Like there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah, I've watched a ton of your videos before, but the stuff that you learn once you get in so far, it's definitely valuable. I'm looking to put it to work. So
yeah, you're sounding like I paid you to say this.
Yeah, well, if I was in the chat, maybe I'd be saying that. But
yeah. Well, any other questions?
I can assure you, if you want to send me a check, that'd be great. But no one's paying me.
Well, I appreciate it. Any other questions?
No, that's it. I'm going to hang up and listen to myself.
Awesome. Well, good luck in the program. Any other questions? Just feel free to call back.
Okay, thanks, Eric.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
There another one? Cool. If you guys have any other questions, feel free. Did you put the phone number in the chat? We'll throw the phone number. We'll keep throwing the phone number in the chat again. But we'll wait for you guys. You never called me. I called you 3 times. Jeremy, we don't see your call back again, Jeremy. We don't see your call. This content is unmatched. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hey, Eric, I have a few of the rookies in the NBA, the 2024 NBA class. Carrington White Wave at a 38 and Buzelis Blue Wave at a 125. What is your strategy for both of these cards? Well, what would my strategy be for both of these cards? Well, I'll go through one of them. Make it easy. So let's look at like Buzelis Wave at a 125. Prism. Okay, so a card like this, I'm definitely sending in for grading. I think this is like close to 300 is a PSA 10. And the other one, Carrington White Wave. So this card's worth like $65, but I'm sending this in for grading too. So I'm sending both those cards in for grading, and me personally, I'm probably gonna just sell them right away. I don't think they're players that are gonna get a lot of hype and excitement. When people always ask me like, should I hold? Should I not hold? It's always just, depending on your budget. Like if you could just hold those cards, there's a higher chance they're gonna be worth more. In September, October, sure, do it. Another one. But yeah, just grade them and sell them is my answer. Hey, what's up? You got Eric? You're live.
This is Jeremy.
What's up, Jeremy? How can I help you?
I just had a couple questions about my what I'm collecting right now. I got into the Panini sticker card collection.
Okay.
They have beautiful foil borders, and they're numbered. I like to get, obviously number one, the ones, below, like 25, but if you can't, you can't. But I get them all numbered, and I have pretty much the whole set in different colors. And I also have the Victor Wembanyama gold and black and silver, black and white silver. Do you know anything about those?
I do not, but what's your question? Is your question like,
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Are those cards worth grading? Because when I see them graded, their prices are pretty high.
Well, it's worth grading. So like that Wembanyama, what's it worth?
Can I send? You want me to send you a picture?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll do that after I get off the phone with you.
Okay, yeah, I'll respond to you and let you know what I think.
Right,
but
cool.
What's it worth? What's the Wembanyama worth?
The guy has his posted for like $6,000.
Well, so I always used to joke with people.
Obviously, that's not,
Yeah. Like the reason it's funny when people say like, this is what I want for a card because there's one listed at $3,000. It's like actually arguing against yourself because that's why it's listed and not sold because the guy's asking too much money. But are there any sold cards?
No, man, not really. Not really.
What's it called? The Wembanyama what?
It's Victor Wembanyama. It's card number 71 and card number 96, both foil, and they are from the 2023-24 NBA sticker card collection off a Panini website.
Oh.
I bought a bunch of those like $6 packs, and I pulled.
These cards aren't anything you could buy off the Panini or Topps website. Generally, is not going to be worth grading. Some Topps now cards are, but they sell for too cheap. There's not going to be enough demand, in my opinion, if they were graded a 10. So I would not grade them for.
Okay, so you sell them raw.
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time, and if I have any other questions, I'll be sure to keep watching and give you a call.
Sounds good. I'll be here.
All right. Oh, wait, I got one more.
Go for it.
I got a SGC Shane Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yep.
I'm graded at a 9.
Yep.
With the orange foil border. 1 out of 50. Is that a nice card?
Is it a nice card? Well, that's just an opinion. That's just an opinion. Do you think it's a nice card? Like, are you asking me? Are you asking me what it's worth?
Yes. What's worth? Yes.
What year is it?
It's 2023-24.
And what's the name of the product?
Panini sticker and card collect Shane Gilgeous-Alexander orange 1 out of 50.
Yeah, any of that's.
I was figuring $50.
Yeah, actually, let's see. Yeah, probably like $60, $50-$60. Yep.
All right, cool. And I can't believe they won the finals. That's so cool, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy. All
right, now I'll let you get back to your thing and watch the show, and I gotta continue watching. But thank you for taking my call, Mike.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you as well.
You take care.
All right, bye. Sometimes people call me Mike or Michael. It's Eric. It is Eric Michael, but sometimes even I have students, they think my name is Michael. They'll be like, "Hey, Michael," and I'll be like, that a first name. Let's see here. I have a LeBron James NBA Final jersey card that is super short print. I want to sell it, but PSA does not grade booklets. Do I just sell it or send it to Beckett? I would sell it and not. Booklets are hard to grade, as you can imagine. They're thick, they're big. That sounds wrong, but because for those reasons, they are very hard to grade. If it's in immaculate condition, the corners look like sharp right angles, and there's nothing wrong with it, you could send it in. It'll get a bump as a Beckett 9.5. But just without me looking at the card, I would not grade it if I was you. Is there an I think you meant to say optimal, not optimum, but is there an optimal month to start running football cards before the season? What do you mean running football cards? Selling football cards? Is that what you mean? Well, if you're talking about selling football cards, the optimal month. So it's a depends on a player by player basis. So let me like share my screen and give you an example. So like in theory, generally, by the way, if you guys have questions, feel free to call on that number and put it in the chat. But generally, so let me give you an example. Okay, so I bought some Sam Darnold cards, right? Let's see. Let me show you something. Sam Darnold. This is his Prism PSA 10, right? So one just sold for really cheap. But you can see this card's worth like $30 around. If Sam Darnold, if a report comes out next week that he's phenomenal and they look amazing and he plays great in his first preseason game in early August and his stuff doubles, that's the time to sell. If his cards just gradually go up before the season, I'll just wait till the end of August, maybe early September. But different guys will spike at different times for different reasons. So someone who I've been an advocate of buying, like CJ Stroud, for example, because his stuff is really cheap, you could see his stuff in the past 180 days is going up and up. You could have bought his cards for like $375, a silver Prism PSA 10, and now it's $430. It's up, what is that, 15, 20%? I wouldn't sell it yet. It's just gradually going up. Maybe this card could go up to $500 plus, or maybe even $600 by the time the season rolls around. Or maybe CJ Stroud, the second preseason game, will do something really good, have 2 drives, have 7 for 9, 85 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he looks amazing and his stuff goes up. I would just sell it then. So some guys in the offseason just pop up for a certain reason. And some guys won't. Some guys just won't go up. Some guys will gradually go up. Some guys will go down. Usually not, but some will. So that's the best time to sell. It's on a player-by-player basis. I wish I could just say to you, wait until it gets closer to the season. But if CJ Stroud doubles in value the second preseason game because he did something spectacular, I would sell it then. What's the best card you own and you'll never get rid of? So my PC, you don't know what PC means? It means personal collection. I collect 1933 Gaudy Babe Ruths. That's my PC or whatever you want to call it. I'll never sell them. I buy them because I think it's good value. I think they're cheap. They've went up a lot since I started buying them. The collection is probably over doubled in value, but I'll never sell them unless I have to for some sort of emergency fund. But I have a few of them. I think the highest one I have is a PSA 4 greenback or yellowback. Maybe it's worth 20 to 30 grand. But I have a few of them, lower grades, a bunch of PSA 1s and 2s. I have a PSA 1 that I got really cheap that has 4 hole punches in it at the top and the bottom, and it's a PSA 1. It's pretty ugly. But yeah. Is there a caller? Oh, I thought someone was calling. Yeah, that's the best card I own, or my favorite at least. What are your thoughts on Bowman U, Bowman First College basketball products, Eric? Also, getting them signed in person versus ripping packs and then getting them graded. So, that's a good question. So, getting them signed in person doesn't do much. If you get it signed in person and you go to a ball game and you're lucky to meet the player, great. It'll increase the value a little bit, but now you have to get it authenticated by the PSA or Beckett or wherever. So, and it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of effort for a little bit of money. Or you can go to a card show and pay to meet the player, but it usually costs more than it is what his autograph is worth. So getting them signed yourself, in my experience and in my opinion, is just not a winning game. I would not do it. And then Bowman University, Bowman University is really good. Like, just don't take my word for it. You look here, like, let's look up like, let's actually go here. Let's look up like a Cooper flag, Bowman University. Let's see if he has like a silver or something. I guess he doesn't have a silver. Like if you just take a look here, Bowman X-Fractor. That's a good card. You can see this card of Cooper flag. I mean, pretty good, right? This 2024 Bowman you could buy for $54, and a 10 is above 200. And there's probably, if I had to guess, X-Fractor. It's probably I'm looking at sold items here. There's probably a bunch of them on eBay of this card. So yeah, it's a good card. I mean, the margins are there. Like you could see, there's a bunch of them ending on eBay. And what you could do, so like what I do sometimes, if I don't know like who's the guy to buy or what players I should buy, and I want to buy a certain type of product, I'll type in Bowman University. Check this out. This is actually a cool tactic. Bowman University 2024. I'll look at PSA 10s, right? I'll go to sold items, and I'll just look at PSA 10s that sell for, oh wow, it sells for that. So this is like a rare card. I wouldn't buy this, but like I'll look at PSA 10s, and I will do like minimum $100, and just look at some of these cards. So it's like, okay, well, this refractor of Cooper flag sells for $200. Let's look here. Flag, Bowman, refractor. And let's see what it sells for. And let's see if it's worth grading. So I'll kind of like reverse engineer it. So his refractor sells for, see here. A 9 does like $50. So a 9 and a raw are probably similar. So yes, this is like $59. This is a blue refractor, actually. I lied. $52 is regular refractor, and a 10 is $200. So for that reason, I would look at those cards to buy. So then I'll pull up another tab and say, okay, let's look. Bowman University refractor. What is it? 2024? It's 2024. And just see, what cards are ending. This is a cool one. After school special. Sounds like something wrong. But like after school special. This card sells for like $200, and a 10. There are no 10s. You can look at market movers. After school special. PSA 10. Nope. There's none. But I could tell you, like, this card, you're going to over double your money as a 10. Like, all these cards are, like, you're getting triple or quadruple your money. So, I mean, is Bowman University good, or is it because it's Cooper flag? I don't know. It's probably a mix. But yeah, Bowman University, in my experience, like, recently, has been pretty good. Like, when I first got into the hobby, like, you didn't buy any cards that were not the professional jersey. Like, the college stuff did not do well. But now, I don't know why. It's probably because of NIL stuff, and these players are more well-known, these college guys. It's really spiked a lot. Caitlin Clark also helped it a lot, too. Her college stuff goes crazy. So, for that reason, yeah, Bowman University is good to answer your question. There's money to be made. I have a PSA 10 Blue Mosaic NFL debut of Rome Odunze. The Pop 1 with only one sale of a 9 back in March. Any idea on price point? I overlisted the field offers, but haven't gotten any yet. Well, you haven't got any offers because guess what? You priced it too high, right? Doesn't take a mathematician to figure that out, but I can just look for you. Mosaic Number to 99, Odunze, I believe it was, right? This card, let's see, Roma Dunze. If it's probably around double the PSA 9. Mosaic's a little bit easier to grade, so you don't get huge margins. So if it's this card, I mean, well, there's a 10 sale right there, but you can see why Mosaic isn't a great product to buy a lot of the time, because you can see what the raw does. The same card as a 10 does not do too much more. So I usually stay away from buying Mosaic, but that would be the answer to that. Oh, whoops. Is Panini Prism basketball junk product? Is it junk? No. Panini Prism is probably the best product to buy and grade, at least in my opinion. So no. Let's see. RJ, how do you grade a 101 card? I have a 2023 Leaf Trinity, Carbon Steel Gold Shimmer, graded SGCA. I would just take it out of the case. I would not grade it if I were you. I would just simply not grade it. I'm going to keep this up here to get some callers in the door. Let's see. Should I list cheaper NFL cards now or wait a bit? I'm talking $2 to $10 cards. I would not. Like $2 to $10 cards are not really going to increase much in value, so it doesn't really matter what you do with them. I have bought a ton of cards off eBay and whatnot, $1,000 worth. Would you recommend I get them graded? That is an impossible question for me to answer without me seeing them. It depends on the condition and the price. Just general, like, I guess, helpfulness is you want to at least double your money, number one, when you send it in for grading. So if you bought the card for $50 and a 10 is, $200, that's great. A 10 is $80, I would avoid sending it in. So hopefully that answers your question. Wow. A lot of questions. Any other questions from you guys? Like I said, feel free to call in. But if there's no other questions, I will give this an end. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you're liking this on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.